story on the broadcast is a surge in COVID-19 cases, how Delhi is dealing with it, and amidst all this, hundreds of farmers are now threatening once again to come and sit at Delhi's borders. Delhi's health infrastructure is stretched to the limit. Look at these images of farmer union members who are flocking and now driving towards the national capital to once again take part in farmers' protest. The question remains, is this the time? Is this the time when every doctor worth his salt is telling you to remain isolated, to break the chain, not to be in contact, where we are reporting about COVID hits every day, whether it's at a temple in Gujarat or near a mosque in Telangana, in Hyderabad, or these farmers who are now coming in large numbers. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Manjeet Sehgal, who's joining us for more on this big story. Manjeet, the situation is extremely grim, not just in the national capital, but also in Punjab and in Haryana. There's been a spike in number of cases and unfortunately number of deaths, and yet these farmers are now coming to protest once again. Who leads them? Which union is this? And is no one advising them about isolation and social distancing?
Well, Gaurav, as you said, the situation is really very grim in Punjab. If we talk about the cases, more than 8,000 cases, fresh cases have been reported during the past 24 hours, and over 9,500 people have died of COVID-19 so far. But the Punjab government's appeal being made to the farmer unions not to crowd the places, the toll plazas and the protesting sites have gone unheard, as two of the farmer unions, one, the Bharatiya Kisan Union Ekta Ugraha, led by Joginder Singh Ugraha, and another farmer union, Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee, have announced batches of protesters who have already started marching towards New Delhi. While the Kisan Mazdoor Sangharsh Committee led about 1,000 tractors are on the way towards Delhi, and some of them have already reached. The Bharatiya Kisan Union Ekta Ugraha has announced that it will also be sending batches of farmers from 10th of May onwards. Meanwhile, on 8th of May, Gaurav, the Bharatiya Kisan Union and 31 other Punjab-based unions have announced protests against the coronavirus-induced lockdowns in Punjab on 8th of May. We can gauge how these farmer unions are indulging in lawlessness and are now making the state government's efforts to break the chain of COVID-19 a futile exercise. And also in Punjab government's efforts and orders, there is an ambiguity. Punjab government has now banned all the political rallies in Punjab, but it is not taking any action against the farmer unions who are frequently organizing Mahapanchayats and rallies in various parts of Punjab and Haryana.
It's happening in Punjab, it's happening in Haryana, absolutely. And unfortunately, casualties, caseload, all of that is rising in Punjab, in Haryana, in Delhi, also in rural areas, which so far had been relatively untouched by this crisis. And let's take a look at the bigger numbers. Manjeet keeps tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. But let's take a look at India's big numbers. Active cases, total number of active cases in the country as on date are 35,66,398 cases. Now, cases in the past 24 hours, 4,12,262. Remember, we've breached the 4 lakh mark earlier, and deaths in the past 24 hours once again at a high of 3,980. It's a cause for serious concern, and amidst this, farmers want to take out a rally. This COVID-appropriate behavior is not being followed. Which are the 5 worst affected states?